This is John Clay, sports columnist for the Lexington Herald-Leader, and high school football starts locally on Friday and throughout the state. I'm here with Mike Fields, the high school beat writer for the Herald-Leader. And Mike, what are some of the storylines in high school football this year?
I guess the biggest is Damian Harris, the great running back at Madison Southern, ranked the top running back in the nation. He's a story everybody's going to be watching. We've got some major coaching changes at some of the highest profile programs in the state. We have Scott County. Can they, defend their 6A state championship? Other breakthrough teams in the area, who they might be, and talking about a little bit about the local area teams that could be state contenders.
You mentioned Damian Harris. Obviously, he's gotten a lot of publicity. He's a highly recruited running back throughout the nation. A lot of the big schools are going after him, including the UK. Does that make him the odds-on favorite for Mr. Football?
Obviously, he's 5'11", 205 pound. He's got speed, strength, and agility, and everybody's going to expect him to have a huge year, rush for over 2,000 yards, and if he does that and lives up to expectations, obviously he's the guy everybody's going to be pointing towards at Mr. Football. But remember last year, Drew Barker, Connor quarterback Drew Barker, and John Harden, defensive tackle Matt Elam were favorites for Mr. Football at this time of the year, and Nicarius Fant from Bowling Green wound up winning it. So you can't say it's a guaranteed thing for Damian to win it.
And what about, you also mentioned coaching changes. What are some of the big coaching changes, or the ones that are gotten the most attention going into this year?
The three highest profile are at Highlands, Lexington Catholic, and Boyle County, all 4A state contenders the last several years. And Brian Weinrich has taken over for Dale Mueller at Highlands. Mark Perry has taken over for Bill Letton at Lexington Catholic. And Chuck Smith, who won 5 state titles at Boyle County, is back with the Rebels, succeeding Larry French, who won 2 titles there. So it'll be interesting to see how those guys fare in their these high-profile programs where you got to win.
And you talk about Boyle County, and then you mentioned Scott County earlier in the big breakthrough that they had last year. What are you expecting from Scott County this year, and what are some of the area teams that could have big seasons?
Well, Scott County has made the breakthrough last year after a decade or more of dominance by Trinity and St. X. They became the first public school to win it in more than 15 years. And they've got the team to do it again, at least contend for it. I know Jim McKee thinks he's got the team to make it back to Bowling Green. And in areas, Frankfort in Class A is a legitimate 1A contender. Bourbon County had a great run last year. They've had 2 straight undefeated regular seasons. They almost beat Belfry in the playoffs last year, so you got to look out for them again this year.
And what about in the city? What are some of the storylines that we should watch for here in Lexington?
I guess the biggest is Henry Clay. They almost upset Scott County in the playoffs last year, 37-34 heartbreaker. And Sam Simpson loves this team. It's the fastest team he's ever had. They've got linemen, they've got depth, they've got experience, and they'll be looking to try to knock off Scott County. And then Lexington Catholic is obviously a 4A contender with quarterback Reese Ryan leading them.
And as you said, the high school season starts Friday. The preview for the Lexington Herald-Leader is in Friday's paper. Is that correct?
That's right. Friday we'll have a feature on Damian Harris, top 50 players in the state, close-up look at all the Lexington schools, and we get it kicked off Friday night.
And this is John Clay along with Mike Fields. Follow high school football coverage at Kentucky.com all season long.